So you get 10 years, but this time around you're going in as a cooperator. So
Correct.
You're in PC?
No, they have a witness protection program within the federal system, the jail system. So they put guys like myself in the witness protection program while you're in federal custody. They have about, I think, 5 or 6 different locations throughout the states. It's a unit in itself. It's a jail inside of a jail. Everything's all witness protection.
So it's all cooperators?
All cooperators.
Got it. So do you recognize any of the people in there? Or they?
Oh, I met Sammy the Bull there.
So Sammy the Bull was locked up with
That's
you?
where we met.
Okay. Did you know of Sammy the Bull beforehand?
I knew of him.
But you never met?
No.
But you guys started to hang out
Yeah,
while locked up?
We had a lot of laughs together, a little ornery guy.
This is during the whole Arizona ecstasy situation?
Yes, that's what he was locked up for.
I've interviewed Sammy. Now, you're in witness protection, but you and Sammy recognize each other and, people make phone calls.
Well, he didn't recognize me and he knew of me.
Yeah.
But I recognized him.
So at the point that you cooperate against a captain and so forth, now, is there a hit on your life at this point by the Bananos?
Today?
At that point?
Oh, I'm sure from day one.
Okay. Have you heard of an actual dollar amount or anything of that sort?
I haven't heard of a dollar amount, no.
Okay. But if you go back to a place where the Bananos are hanging out and decide to have dinner and someone recognizes you, could that turn into something?
Anything could happen. I would never underestimate anyone or any time frame or any place. But if I walked into a place right now unexpectedly, I don't see anybody doing anything to me because, number one, I doubt if somebody's carrying a gun on them, especially these days.
Well, it depends where you go.
But
Not New York, but Florida?
Right. Oh, yeah, Florida.
Yeah, forget about it.
Everybody's strapping.
Yeah, exactly.
But, I don't go... There's other guys that are living around the city, New York. I try to stay away. I'm not rubbing it in their face, only on the YouTube channel. I'll go at people, but
right.
I have fun doing it.
Well, Vinny Basciano ends up getting life in prison without the possibility of parole.
Correct.
And you played a part in that.
I was probably one of the key parts of that.
Right. I'm not saying this is all your fault. At the end of the day, Vinny decides to put out the hits, and he's a grown man, so he understands the repercussions of it. But, like you just said, you played a part in it.
Yes, I did. And my thing was loyalty works both ways. I mean, I'm locked up because of the Bonanno crime family. I'm locked up because Vinny's talking about things you're not supposed to talk about that we got away with. And then you have Michael is stripping me of everything. They're taking all my assets. They're having a field day out there. So it's like, whoa, I'm getting banged around every which way. Where's the loyalty? Where's the loyalty in the life? You're our brother. We have your back. We'll support you. Where is it? Nobody's sending me commissary money. Nobody's taking care of my girl. Like, really? Where's the loyalty? I'm here for the family, not because of my own doing. It wasn't like I had a beef. I wound up killing the guy because it was something, I had an altercation for something I did. I was ordered to do this. I did it for Vinny. This was Vinny's issue. And then Michael, you're ordering me to go do the hit as well. So I'm in here for the family because of your orders, but you're not supporting me? You're taking things from me? Where's the loyalty? To me, that's a rat move.
Well, I've interviewed so many people, and there's always a reason that they cooperate.
We all have excuses.
Everyone has.
Right.
Sammy the Bull, I would have done triple life, but then I heard the John Gotti tape, so I decided to turn on everyone and cooperate on people that I never even had a problem with.
And you know what, Vlad?
So, like I said, there's always a reason, and I'm not here to judge.
I'm glad you say that, because, and I do say this even on my podcast, I took the coward way out at the end of the day because there is no excuse. All these excuses I gave you, all these scenarios, you're still supposed to be like a Vinny Basciano and do life.
Right, because Vinny never cooperated against anybody?
No.
He could have.
Yeah, till this day he could.
Right. He could pull that card out and
Vinny
talk
has
about
over a
various
dozen
murders.
murders, dozen bodies. Yes.
Many of which are unsolved.
Yeah.
Yeah, like for example, there's a guy named Terrence Gangster Williams, who's a regular guest on my show. He's the brother of Birdman, who started Cash Money Records.
Right. I'm familiar with.
He got, I believe, 27 years, but then he got charged with a murder that turned into life. And at one point, he cooperated on 40 murders that he was involved in. And he implicated all of his friends. There was a group of, 4 guys called the Hot Boys. They were all dead at the time. But he basically told, the feds about all the murders. Some people look at him, as a rat and a snitch, and his thing is like, well, everyone's dead. So who cares? No one's got locked up.
You know what? He's right, but he's still a rat. You're told.
And he understands that.
But he's right. He didn't hurt anybody.
Yeah. And for example, when I interview people like Freeway Ricky Ross, who was one of the biggest drug dealers in America at one point, his cocaine connect ended up turning on him. And at first he was upset. And a couple years later, he just realized, well, snitching is just part of the drug game and part of the criminal life. And I could either get mad at it or accept that this is going to happen almost every time and let me work on getting my life sentence thrown out, which he ultimately did. And like you said, at one point, none of the mob bosses cooperated, but then, the Bonanno boss cooperated and he was known as the Last Don, I think, for doing that.
Yes.
And since then, how many more bosses have cooperated?
I don't know.
There's been a few, I believe.
Well,
John Gotti.
John Gotti Jr.
John Gotti. Was he a boss?
Well, he was an acting boss. Frank Salemi. I know he was up there. What's his name? From Philly, too.
Natali,
Ralph.
Joseph Massino. And Sammy the Bull was an underboss.
Underboss.
So there's a handful.
But Sammy opened up the floodgates for everybody, really. Because that case was just so publicized and...
Yeah, there's a list of people. It's a long list. It's a long list of people.
Put it this way, the mafia is not what it once was. That's for sure. But like I said, there's no excuse. I took the coward way out, and that's it. But you know what? I have to live with that. I had to go through, it took me about 4 or 5 years to finally accept it. I was nightmares, turmoil. It bothered me that much. But then again, I'm happy where I'm at now, the place I'm at. And I don't regret anything I did.